Okay, kids said to be going back to school. Before you know it, it's unbelievable, right?
Right.
Dr. Beth Collins here with some back-to-school health tips. She's double board certified in plastic and reconstructive surgery. Dr. Beth, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
As we said, the summer's been flying by. Kids are out and about doing a lot of fun things. I know my nieces and nephews were at the drive-in the other day. It's going to be tricky to get them back on that back-to-school schedule. So what can some parents be doing to get them sort of back into that flow?
The first thing is it's important to realize that kids need a lot more sleep than we do. So especially in the younger years, kids could need up to 8 to 11 hours of sleep a night. So when they're in the summer schedule, they're not getting that much sleep. They're sleeping later in the day. When they're going back to school, they're going to be forced to wake up early. So we got to get them to bed earlier. The things that we could do is be really stringent with our schedules and make sure they're getting into bed early. Set up the situation where the rules are strict and start about 2 to 3 weeks early, getting them used to that schedule. And see how they do with it, because you need to see if they're getting enough and if they're awake in the morning. You need to set up an environment where they're specifically going to sleep. So during the day, if they're reading, get a beanbag chair for them to read in, not the place where they typically are sleeping. So the sleep space is their space. And most of all, make sure that they're turning off those electronic devices early, at least an hour before bedtime.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Why is it so important for the kids to be, you know, a little bit, well, at least step away from the electronics once in a while?
Well, first of all, the content of those devices is stimulating for them, so it's going to make their minds race. But also the artificial light that is transmitted by those devices tricks their brain into thinking that they're supposed to be awake for that period of time. So get them away from it early, read stories before bed, have family time. Those kind of things will help them relax and keep the level of activity low, keep them off the caffeine, things like that.
Okay, let's talk about the teenagers out there. How much sleep should teens be getting these days?
It really depends on the person, but on average, teens are going to need somewhere between 8 to 10 hours of sleep at night. So it's going to depend from person to person.
Yeah, I know my little niece Bryn, she's been sleeping till 10, 11 o'clock, so it changes as they get older.
Yeah, it's remarkable how much they need.
All right, let's talk about this. It's something that every parent dreads during the school year, talking about lice. Doctor, is there anything that parents can do about lice at this stage? What kind of precautions can they take? Yeah,
and fortunately or unfortunately now, the pediatric societies are not recommending that parents keep their children out of school when they have lice. So the thing to do is to warn your kids that they shouldn't share hats or hairbrushes or combs. Be careful when taking selfies and things like that, getting up too close to other children who may be carrying the disease, because unfortunately those kids might be in the school. And now what we're seeing is resistant strains of lice, so they're a little bit harder to treat now. The typical over-the-counter treatments are not working as well. In fact, in 42 of the states, we have 100% resistance in the lice. So you could try the over-the-counter treatments. They may still work with a longer dose or a double dose of it, and if that doesn't work, bring them into the pediatrician soon, because the prescription treatments still do kill the bugs.
All right, that's a tough situation.
Yeah.
Something you got to address, though, as we get closer to the school year.
Absolutely.
All good things parents should be thinking about. All right.
For sure.
Dr. Beth Collins, thanks so much for being here. We'll see you again next week. And for more information about the topics we spoke about tonight, you can watch this interview again as well. You can head and get it all on our website. That's WTNH.com.